Namaste. How are you all out there? I hope you're all doing good. Today we have Unit 12. We have to begin Unit 12, and the theme of this unit is talking about personal experiences. And under this theme, we are going to do a reading. And in our reading, we will be reading a poem composed by William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth is a very famous or very prominent romantic poet in the early 19th century. So, before we begin, let me ask you some questions. I think everybody likes nature. Do you enjoy watching nature? Do you enjoy looking at natural things, natural beauties? Or do you enjoy observing nature? What do you think? Yes, certainly. I guess you all like watching nature, or say you enjoy nature, you enjoy the beauty of nature. And so do I. So let me ask you another thing. Have you noticed some beautiful things or beautiful natural things like forest, green forest, or say high hills or mountains, snow-capped mountains, or beautiful lakes, or animals running and dancing, or birds singing, and butterflies fluttering flower to flower, and many more? There are so many beautiful things or natural things that attract us, or we feel a kind of attachment to natural things. Do you like these natural things? Do you like flowing rivers or flowing fountains, falling fountains? Do you like mountains? I guess you like. Now, so there are so many beautiful things, and why I'm talking about this is because we are going to have that kind of reading. So first of all, I would like to show you some pictures, beautiful pictures here on the screen, and I guess you will enjoy. So here, look at the screen. Okay. Let me show you pictures first. So here you can see a picture. There you can see mountains, and then mountain peaks there. There is beautiful lake, So there are green forest also. You enjoy, you like it, I think. This is a picture of Rara Lake, a picture from Nepal. Now here we have got another picture. Okay, do you enjoy that? Yes. So beautiful things are there, beautiful scene, green scenery. And here you have got birds. How beautifully they are entangled with each other, expressing love or things like that. Say, look at this beautiful butterfly, colorful butterfly. I think you like it. And you can see a very ferocious, very dangerous lion taking a kind of position, to attack maybe an enemy. It looks dangerous again, but it's beautiful. Sometimes, dangerous things are also beautiful. Look at this, such innocent, very gentle, meek kind of animals there. Maybe rabbits. So you can see flowers, daffodil flowers are there. Just remember, daffodils. These red or that yellow colored flowers are daffodils. So these are the pictures, and now let me show you two short clips, video clips of that natural scenes. Okay, here we have flowing fountains. See how waterfall is there falling. The water is beautifully falling from the from upward to downwards, and then you can see. Okay, it's a gift of nature. Everybody loves it. Everybody likes it. What a beauty. Okay, now here we have got another. Two birds slowly moving to one another. See how beautifully they are swimming? Look at this. Okay, the birds enjoying. The birds themselves are enjoying the beauty of nature. See how they are coming slowly to one another. See, just see it. Don't you think it's beautiful? Look at this. Look at their attachment. Yes. Yes. That was all about beauty, beauty of nature. Why I'm showing all these things, you might have guessed or you might have understood. Now, we are going to begin a poem. The title of the poem is I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud. So, to begin with this, let me play an audio for you. We have audio recording of this poem. The poem is written by William Wordsworth, a romantic poet. And here we have got audio. Please listen carefully and be attentive.
I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not but be gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For oft, when on my couch I lie in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the...
Okay, dances with the daffodils. I have already told you, daffodils is just the name of flower, a very beautiful flower. While listening to the audio, you might have seen that, picture of flower there on the screen. And now, don't worry, some of you might have understood the poem by listening to the audio as well. But you don't have to worry about this. I'm going to explain the poem, each and every line here. And don't worry about the words and meanings. We'll have word and meanings here. And if confusion still lies there, you can take the help of your teacher also. So let's move without a delay. We have the first stanza there on the screen. Please look at this. I wandered lonely as a cloud. This is the title of the poem. The poem begins like this. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Now we are going to explain this first stanza here, this first stanza. I wandered lonely as a cloud, means the speaker. I means here the speaker of the poem is wandering. Wandering means walking around. The speaker is walking lonely as a cloud. And what kind of a cloud? The cloud that floats on high over. This is over, certain form. So over vales means over valleys. Over valleys. This is the old English. And hills means the cloud is floating over vales and hills. Like that cloud, the speaker is walking lonely, wandering lonely. When all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, means while the speaker was walking lonely, like the cloud, what happened there? He all of a sudden, means suddenly he happened to see a crowd, means a host of golden daffodils. I saw a crowd. Crowd and host, they are similar. So I saw a crowd of daffodils, means host of golden daffodils. Golden refers to the color of these flowers, daffodils. Means there were lots of flowers there. Host, crowd. Beside the lake, means where were the flowers then? That crowd of flowers were beside the lake, near the lake. Beside means here, near. Beside the lake, beneath the trees, means under the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Fluttering means here flapping or say moving, gently moving lightly. That's fluttering. But moving lightly but moving quickly. This is fluttering. Fluttering and dancing in the breeze. What are fluttering there? Daffodils are fluttering. Why fluttering? Because of the breeze. Breeze means here wind, light wind, gentle wind. So because of the wind, the flowers were moving, the flowers were fluttering, and they looked like dancing. So this kind of scene, when he happened to see while walking lonely like the cloud of the sky, he just enjoyed it. He was mesmerized by the beauty of daffodils. Now we have another second stanza here. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. Do you guess any meaning there? Do you understand something? So, in the first line, continuous as the stars that shine, means what was continuous there? What's going on? That means that act of flowers moving and dancing, that was continuous. Where is the speaker now? The speaker is in the daffodil field, we can say, or he is just walking somewhere beside the lake. He is going somewhere, he is standing there beside the lake. You can just imagine, in place of the speaker, imagine yourself to be there and enjoy how beautiful those flowers looked. See, the speaker is in the field, or the speaker is nearby the lake, nearby the water, and there are how many flowers? Millions of flowers, hundreds or thousands of flowers. That crowd, that host of daffodils there, very beautiful flowers, daffodils, and the speaker is there. You can see, and you can also see here, continuous as the stars that shine, means those flowers, daffodils, were shining like the stars. Look at this. Stars look beautiful in the sky at night. Don't you think so? Like that, like those stars that shine in the sky, the flowers also look beautiful. The flowers were also shining. And twinkle means stars twinkle on the Milky Way. Milky Way refers to galaxy. It's in the sky. Milky Way refers to the sky, you can say. So in the sky, in the galaxy, you see stars shining brightly, shining beautifully, or twinkling beautifully at night. And like those beautiful stars, the daffodils were flowering, the daffodils were shining, the daffodils were twinkling, because they were also like the stars. See, beautiful things always twinkle. Remember one thing, whether it be flowers, daffodils, or whether it be stars in the sky, they all shine. Shining refers to, it's a kind of beauty, Beauty always shines. They stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. They refers to here daffodils. Stretched means extended. In equivalent Nepali word we can say fhailiएको. Stretched. They stretched in never-ending line means that line of its stretch was continuous, on and on. Your eyes could not catch the end of that field, the end of that flower line. So they stretched in never-ending line means far and wide, to the end of that field. You see, there were flowers, daffodils, flowering, moving, fluttering, shining like the stars in the sky, or what else? And where was the line? Where was the line of that beautiful flowers? This is along the margin of a bay. Margin refers to here edge, or it says side. Margin of a bay here, we have got meanings also. Margin of a bay means edge of an inlet or of a lake. Suppose there is a big lake, and that side of the lake is inlet, or that is margin. So margin of a bay. Bay means edge, margin means side. So that side of the sea, side of the lake here, not exactly sea. So along the margin of a bay, there was line of flowers, that host of golden daffodils stretching, and your eyes could hardly catch up that end of the line of the beautiful flowers, daffodils. And how many flowers are there? You can see in another line, 10,000 saw I at a glance. Glance means here, that's a quick look, short look. You quickly look at something, that's a glance. So 10,000 saw I at a glance means at one time, how many flowers, how many daffodils could he see there? He could see 10,000 daffodils. Saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. So what were the beautiful flowers doing there? Tossing their heads. Tossing refers to moving. Moving their heads means, you can just imagine, flowers don't have heads or legs or hands. Some people might say like that, but if we imagine, everything has got that kind of thing. Like if we imagine birds also sing, if we imagine birds also dance, you might have seen peacocks dancing, how beautiful they look. So here in the poem, in this stanza, 10,000 flowers were seen at a glance, and they were what they were doing? They were moving their heads in sprightly dance. Sprightly refers to lively, energetic. See, lively dance. Lively dance means active. In another word, we can say active dance. Means the flowers were moving, the flowers were not sleepy, the flowers were not feeling lazy. They were moving, they were dancing, or they were shining. This means that's a very beautiful, lively picture, lively scene, or say scenery of the daffodils field, and the poet was really, what do you think, happy or sad to see the daffodils? You already know the poet likes that field, that daffodils, flowers, and that's why maybe the poet was overwhelmed by the beauty, the poet was overjoyed by the beauty, or he's just enjoying, he's enjoying, he's forgetting himself. So up to this line, I think you might have understood about the beginning of the poem. The poet is walking alone, means in the beginning he is sad maybe because he is lonely. He has no one to talk to. He has no one to get the company of. So he's walking alone, and he is going somewhere. He might be disappointed, or he might be sad, or he might be gloomy. But on the way, he saw 10,000s of daffodils. Those flowers like the stars in the sky. They were beautiful. They were moving. They were dancing, and they were that really attracted the poet, and the poet enjoyed it. The poet liked it. Now we have got another. Please look on the screen. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not but be gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the soul to me had brought. Do you understand something there? Okay, the waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. Here we have got colorful words here. The words have got meanings here, just below the lines, below the stanza. Outdid means here beat or do something better than others. That is outdid. You defeat somebody or you beat somebody. You are the winner and the other is loser. So this is kind of situation, outdid, outdoing. The sparkling refers to here shining again, shining, gleaming. And that is beauty, sparkling. Glee refers to happiness. Glee means joy, happiness, pleasures or whatever. Great pleasures, we can say. Glee. Waves. Waves refers to here the tides of water. I say tides of sea, tides of lake. Here in the water moves, when there is the blow of wind, you can see the water moving in a kind of rhythmic expression, you see. So we call it, the movement of water is called waves. Waves and glee. A poet could not but be gay. Okay, let's come to the word meanings later. Let me begin here from the beginning of this stanza here. The waves beside them danced. So what are the waves doing? Where were the waves first? Waves were in the water. How can you say the waves were in the water? Because the daffodil field was beside the lake, means there is a lake, and in the lake the poet could see waves of the water, waves of the lake. So the waves beside them danced. Beside them what? Beside them means them refers to here daffodils. So there were waves also. Waves of the water means they are also beautiful. Don't you think the waves of water are beautiful? Yes. Flowers are beautiful. Waves are beautiful. As I shared, shining stars are beautiful. What not? There are so many beautiful things in the universe. There are so many beautiful things in the nature. Nature is what gives us pleasure, you know. And gives us pleasures means what? Nature gives us pleasures means we become happy. And nature is only the way of living a happy life. I think so. So here in the poem, the waves beside them danced. Means the water waves were dancing. And in the earlier previous stanza, you could see the dance of what? The dance of flowers here. Tossing the hairs in sprightly dance means what were dancing there in the previous stanza? Or in this stanza here on the screen right now? There, in this stanza, the flowers were dancing. And in the next stanza, what are dancing here? What danced? The waves of the water danced. The waves beside them danced. Means two things were dancing. How enjoyable, how beautiful things, you know. Water waves were also dancing. The flowers were also dancing. But, here look at this line. But they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. They means here, this they refers to daffodils. The beautiful daffodil flowers outdid the sparkling waves in glee. Means the waves of water were also very happy. That was the happy kind of or very pleasure-giving type of waves. That waves were also beautiful. The waves were also dancing. But the sparkling wave, the shining waves are also like shining like the flowers. The waves were also shining like the stars. But here, what were better? Daffodils were better than waves. See? But they outdid the sparkling waves in glee means, actually, the waves of the water, waves of the lake were also beautiful, no wonder. But daffodils were better than sparkling waves. See, the poet liked the dance of daffodils better than the dance of the waves of the water. This is the point. Now in the next line, a poet could not but be gay. Gay means here happy. Gay refers to happiness, Gay, happy. The poet could not but be gay means here the speaker means he is a poet certainly. This is a poem we are reading and William Wordsworth is the speaker in the poem. And he was enchanted by the beauty, he was mesmerized by the beauty, he was pleased, he was happy to see those beautiful flowers, that waves in the water or whatnot, But for a poet, for a man of a romantic heart, a person who loves nature is romantic by nature. Don't you think so? If you love nature, you are romantic. I love nature, I like those flowers, I like those rivers or fountains or parts of nature. I like everything in nature. So I think I'm also a bit romantic. So here, in the line of the poem, you can say a poet could not but be gay. Means here, for a speaker or for the speaker, for a person who has got romantic heart, for a person who loves nature, who enjoys nature, and what he could do there at this time, he could just be happy. He could do nothing but become happy. He was happy, that's all. He could do nothing. Maybe he could be happy and just enjoy. In such a jocund company, why the poet was happy? The poet was happy because of the company, because of the friendship. We can say cheerful companionship. Jocund company means here cheerful companionship. Jocund refers to cheerful, happy. In the poem up to this point, you might have found so many words in English that have similar meanings, means that are similar in meanings, like they all refer to happy mood, happiness. Like glee also refers to happiness, gay also refers to happiness, jocund also refers to happiness. See, in such a jocund company refers to the state of being together. Companionship means being together. You are not alone, you are not lonely. In the beginning of the stanza of this poem, the poet was what? The poet was lonely. But now up to this point, the poet does not feel lonely. The poet feels he has friends. The poet feels he has company. Company of what? Company of those beautiful flowers, daffodils. And there are other beautiful things like waves also. I gazed and gazed. Gazed refers to here, I looked steadily, continuously. I gazed, I watched, I looked at those beautiful flowers. I gazed and gazed, on and on. But little thought means the poet just watched and watched. He could not think anything. He could not imagine, he could not do anything. Just watched, and he could not imagine, what wealth the soul to me had brought. Means the speaker cannot imagine what kind of wealth, what kind of property, or what kind of valuable thing the nature has given to him. He cannot just imagine. It means the poet is so happy right at this moment. The poet is so happy to see that beautiful nature shining everywhere, whether this be daffodils or this be lake or waves of the lake or stars. He's just comparing those things with beautiful natural things. So he just kept on watching and watching. He just enjoyed looking at the beautiful flowers, and this time he could not imagine the value of that beautiful nature. He just kept on enjoying. He just kept on, getting into the nature or getting lost. He was lost himself. He forgot himself. See, when you see very natural things, you see beautiful things in front of you, sometimes people forget themselves. This is what the poet feels. This is just a feeling. The poet is feeling that right at this time, he is just enjoying. So he does not know the value of this scene, that scenery, the value that will have later in his life. Up to this point, he does not know whether that field of daffodils will have some memory in the future or not. He cannot imagine how valuable that is. So I guess up to this point, you are clear what the poet is trying to say. Here we have got the last but not the least, the last stanza here. For after when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude, and then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. This is the last stanza, very beautiful, and again, reminding us of that beauty of nature, that beauty, nature has impact in our life, nature has effect in our life. So here, how? Let me explain to you here. For after refers to often. This is old use of English. In the past, people used to use this word. Oft means often, especially in the poem. Some words are in the poem, words used in the poem have somehow different, variation, derivatives, we can say, variation of English spellings to make it, in a metrical. So for oft means for often, or means for now. Here we can give this meaning. For now, what happens here? When on my couch I lie. Means whenever the speaker, the poet, sits on the couch, sits on the seat, sits on the sofa. Couch refers to here sofa also, couch, sofa, or we say comfortable seat, or couch refers to divan, or we can say also lounge or whatever. This is for resting, or seat for taking a rest. This is couch, comfortable seat, we can say. So for aft means for now, whenever. In the past, what happened? In the past, it means at one time, the poet saw that beautiful flowers, that beautiful field of daffodils, and he was enchanted, he was mesmerized, or he was pleased, he was happy, or say he enjoyed. But now, what happens here? It has already become past. So what happens here now? Now, when the poet sits on the sofa or sits inside his house to take a rest, in vacant means in empty mood. Vacant means empty, nothing, having nothing there in the mind, with open mind, with free mind, or in pensive mode. Pensive also in thoughtful mode, thoughtful. So in thoughtful mode means in a serious mode, or say you can say in a meditative mode. Pensive refers to meditative. ध्यान गर्न बसेको जस्तो एकदम एकान्त, त्यसरी भनौँ नेपालीमा. Pensive, thoughtful. So when he is in serious mode, or when he is in a meditative mode or thoughtful mode or with empty mind, and he takes rest here, what happens there? That time, at that time, day flash. Day flash means what flash? Day flash means that daffodils flash. Daffodils. He is not saying daffodils right here, right now. Daffodils, he saw daffodils once, sometime in the past. So it says, they flash upon that inward eye. Inward eye means the eye inside your heart, the eye of the mind, we can say. This is spiritual mind. Look at this word meaning. Inward eye means spiritual mind. Spiritual mind means here, you have two eyes. Everybody knows this. But inward eye refers to your heart. Inward eye refers to your spirit. Or inward eye refers to your mind, we can say. And so inside your mind, inside your heart, what happens here? The daffodils again come back. The daffodils again shine. The daffodils again flash, which is the bliss of solitude. Solitude means being lonely. Solitude refers to your loneliness, but in a positive sense. Look at this. I will talk about it later. So which is the bliss of solitude? Bliss means here extreme happiness, extreme joy. So bliss of solitude. Sometimes, loneliness also gives us pleasure. When you are lonely and you have memory of some past or memory of some beautiful things, it always gives us pleasure. It gives you pleasure. So here the same thing happens to the poet, which is the bliss of solitude means the poet enjoys that memory of what? Memory of the daffodils. They flash upon that inward eye means the memory of that daffodil flower or the daffodils always haunts him, always comes to his mind, and then he enjoys it when he is lonely or when he is in a very thoughtful mode. And then my heart with pleasure fills means the poet becomes happy. The poet feels a kind of pleasure, means his heart is filled with what? Filled with pleasure. His heart is filled with joy. So and then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. Means like in the past, like in that instance when he happened to see that beautiful nature, that beautiful daffodil field, or he enjoyed that shining daffodil flowers in the field beside the lake or under the tree, and then that time he enjoyed live, but now he is not in that field. He is where? He is inside his house. He is sitting on the sofa. He is lonely this time also. But he was lonely that time in the beginning when he was going or he was moving somewhere. He was going to somewhere, someplace. And that time, while he was feeling lonely, that time he saw daffodils, a host of daffodils, crowd of daffodils, and he enjoyed. He liked that. And later, whenever he is free or whenever he is at home or whenever he is sitting on the sofa or on the divan or couch, he just remembers that time again, the time when he saw what? He saw daffodils, and by having memory, by having flashback means remembering the past, by having flashback or say memory of that beautiful flowers also gives a kind of pleasure even today. Means every time, whenever he remembers that beautiful nature, that beauty of daffodils, or that beautiful of that area, that place with lake or trees or yellow colored or say gold colored daffodil flowers, and that all is a source of happiness, that all those all things give a kind of pleasure to him. So it says in the last two lines, then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. His heart dances. It means he becomes happy. So this is the poem, and up to this now, this is the end of the poem, I think. And by now, you might have understood what the poem is trying to say, or what the speaker is trying to say in the poem. I guess you understood it, because in the poem, okay, let me tell something about the poem again. In the poem, the speaker is enjoying. The speaker enjoys nature. The speaker enjoys happiness, and that's why this is a poem based on romanticism, or based on a personal experience, based on how the poet feels about beautiful flowers and nature. And I guess you understood it. So thank you very much for being with us. But we'll have practices of those exercises. We'll have exercises later in our next class. And by then, okay, you go home, you enjoy the poem, read the poem once more or many times, and then if any confusion or if any difficulties lie there, just you can take the help of your teacher. So till then, bye bye, namaste.